Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. You are watching How to App on iOS. My name is Jade. It's Wednesday here in Australia. I hope you're all doing cool wherever you are. Today we've got some new things to play with. Sound off in the chat to let me know you're here. And well, let's have a look at them straight away. This is, it'll change over time. So I kind of had the image in my head that over every kind of 2 weeks, the look of this show will change and evolve, because I want to keep things always just looking fresh and building up and changing and evolving like we all should be every single day. Hi Bubba, how you going? Scott, good to see you. So I've had a bit of a late night. I was up working on a lot of stuff last night to kind of make the show look a little bit better, playing with some screens. Actually got some new hardware yesterday, which has changed my whole streaming setup here. And what that is, what I've got, I upgraded to a capture card, a HDMI capture card yesterday. And that's really cool. Because hopefully the picture that I have for my iPad is a lot better, and I won't get as much lag as I was getting with the original stream. So that's what's been happening here. Let's see, I'm just going to move a few things around. I'll show you what's going on. We are looking at today an app called Documents. What it is, it's I call it like a Swiss Army app. It's pretty much Apple's Files app before Apple created it. So once again, this is an app that I've been using for years, and much like Over, which I've been using for years, there's quite a few on my iPad which I have just continually go back to, and the main reason is because they're always good to me. They always seem to work, and they always are updated. This Documents app, before I go and have a look at it, the best thing about it is these guys update this app probably once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week. They're always trying to make it better, and it's just got better and better as time goes on. I've never had any crashes with it, never had any problems. I kind of have a feeling maybe Apple looked at it and stole some of their ideas for the Files app. So I'll bring this up in here. Let's have a look. Let's do a search for it. It's called Documents. I think it comes up as Documents 7. Or there it is. Documents by Riedel. I think that's how you say it. I don't really know, but that sounds cool. So it's free. That's the good news. It's absolutely free. As you can see, it's got high ratings. It does PDF annotations. It stores your folders. It stores files. It stores music. It zips up files. It connects to other storage services like Dropbox and all of those. You can connect it to your PC within seconds and transfer files back and forward. It's even got a really amazing music player in there as well, which is just so cool. And it pops up the artwork for your songs and everything. So that's really cool. I think it's just a sick app. So I'm trying something new here. Let's see if now a lot of you people would have watched Pete Johns' streams in the past, and Pete uses a streaming service called StreamYard. Okay, and so when you're watching Pete's show, he can normally pop the comments up on the screen, and it's something that a lot of us really like about StreamYard, but unfortunately everything else about StreamYard isn't very good. I have to say, the sound, the video, all that kind of stuff, I have a lot of problems with it. So I moved to OBS. And the reason I'm telling you this, I've spent the last day working on some code to create a widget myself within OBS so I can do, I'll just get out of documents here, so I can do things like this and show Rock Hard Music's comment down there. Now it's still a work in progress and it takes a little time and there's a workaround around it to make it happen. So it takes a few seconds to get it going, but I'm hopeful in the next few days I can finally get this thing automated. So I just have to do one click instead of a few clicks I have to do to get it going now. So I'm just, there you go. So let's have a look at documents. Let's get into it now before I keep rabbiting on. And I've got to watch my timer up there. And as usual, before we kick it off, going to have my ASMR moment. Feel free to guess what I'm drinking today. All right, let's get into this main screen here. So this is documents when you first open it. That's not what you see when you first open it. That's what you'll see. If you first download it, you probably won't have any files in it. And the only folders that would be in here would be your photo album, and an iTunes album up the top here. And a downloads folder over here. So, what this does on the get-go is it connects straight to your photos album. So you've got all of those at a touch just by clicking on that album, which is really cool. Oh, there's some nudies in there. We won't do that. That's awesome. They're not mine, so that's okay. Now, I don't really use the iTunes files. I'm not sure. This used to connect to your Apple Music, right? And what would happen with it is if you downloaded music in your music app, it used to appear in this iTunes files folder. So you could access your music and download it through here. And I think Apple cottoned onto it and removed it like they normally do. Deleted folder, standard stuff. The good thing again with this deleted folder, when you delete a file, it sits in there. It stays in there for 24 hours and then cleans it out at the end of the day. So just in case you need to recover anything. Anything you download inside this app will go into the downloads folder. So let's start with there. You get a browser built into it, and it's a really good browser. It's a desktop browser, so if you're ever having any trouble connecting to a site through Safari and it's just not pulling down the desktop page, you can do it through here. Let's see. One of the main reasons I used to actually use this app was for this browser, and I'll tell you why. I often will need a sample or some kind of sound effect, or like I've found a video on YouTube that is a free sample, a royalty-free sample. But it's hard. Back in the day, it was really hard to download these files from YouTube to actually grab the video without a laptop. And I didn't own a laptop for the longest time. And you used to be able to do it within this browser. Just go to the YouTube page and just pull it straight down. Again, Apple cottoned onto it and stopped it. But there are other methods to do that these days. So I'm going to go down here on the left to connections and start showing you the things you can add. So it's pretty much like the Files app. You can actually add your Files app in here. So you've got all your locations connected to this, which is absolutely cool. Let's go back, get out of there. You can actually create, so when you set it up, it creates a documents folder in your Files app. So you can create a specific little place to store things that connect to your Files app. And that gets saved in iCloud. So you've just got this added little security blanket to flick files around. As you can see here, usual stuff like Gmail, like your Google Drive. What's this? OneDrive. Box. Don't know why I don't have, let's see. I should have Dropbox on here. Let's do that. Let's see if I can add it, because it should have been added. Boom, 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 boom. So you're seeing me do it now. So now I just added Dropbox. How easy was that? So there's all my Dropbox files sitting there as well. Plenty of options to use everything within this app for your workflow. But here's something really cool. I'll show you this. This connects directly to your computer. So as you can see here, it says go to Docs Transfer. So you can't actually see this on my screen. I'm going to bring up a new tab so I can connect. You basically go to that web address on any browser, put in that code, boom, 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 and it's going to connect over a local connection, and that's connected. Now on my screen, I'm getting this. On my laptop, I'm just seeing this. And you can just touch any file and just save it straight to your computer. You can drag any file in your browser and it'll appear here. Very, very cool. For those of you who are like me, who own virtually everything else is Apple that I own, except my laptop. And so you don't have the luxury of transferring files with AirPlay like I do with every other device. So this is really cool for that. Absolutely love it. Now, let's disconnect from that. Bye-bye. And it's super fast, the connection there to transfer files. Bulk files, you can send anything there. The other cool thing that's built into this, let's show you what we can do. So I've got, let's take a couple of songs here. So I've got a bunch of songs here. I'm going to select them at the top. And I'm going to choose, so we got here FMC song, Mr. Bungle. What else we got? We got a utensil song. We'll take those 3 songs. And up here in the left-hand side in the column, you'll see you've got all these options when you click on a file. And there's plenty there. And let's have a look. So what we're going to do is we're going to compress these. We're going to zip them up. So I want to send them to somebody. Bang. And that's just made a file right there called archive.zip. Nice and easy. And we want to change the name of that. Oh, I just clicked on it and unzipped it. That's how easy it is to unzip it. I just clicked on it once and there are those files unzipped. So very easy to zip files up as well. And, you know, these days, I'm sure you're probably sitting there thinking, why the hell are you showing this stuff? Doesn't Files do all this as well? It does. But there are people out there who might not necessarily want to use Files. There are people actually out there, funnily enough, who have a number of iOS devices and don't use iCloud to its full extent. And that's, I guess, personal preference. There's people do things for all sorts of reasons. But this is a good alternative to that. And you can use it in tandem with apps. So I'm going to get into that as well. Let's open a file. Just a music file, just to show you how that works. So as you see, I'll bring up a better one. What do we got? Let's go back down here so you guys can see different view. Right, so some of the songs here. In Monday's show, I showed you some of the Siri shortcuts and how to convert a song from a WAV into a M4A and add all your tags, like the name of the song, the artist, and the image for the song. So let's have a look. This is one of those I've done in the past for my band FMC. So if I click on this song, stop playing. If I click on it, it brings up this little window, and look, it's got all the artwork in it. It's got the name of the song floating across there. Let's go full screen so you can see all that clearly. So you've got all that cool stuff there, the name of the band, it's already in there. When you hit play, we're off to the races, hopefully. So that's cool as well. let's also, because I want to show you a few more things with the music you can actually do, but I just want to pop over back here to the chat for a second. Where are we? So I'm still getting used to flicking between all these silly things, but we're getting better, I'll tell you that. By the next couple of weeks, we're going to have totally smashed this out of the park. Let's see. And okay, where are we? Back here. Sorry about that, folks. I've got a question here from Rock Hard Music. Where are you? Look at that. See, it almost worked. It almost worked, but the question's gone off the end. Can you use audio share between devices? Yes, you can. You can virtually do the same thing as what I did with this, connecting to a computer. So audio share's like pretty much a very similar thing to this. I suggest this is an alternative to audio share. The only difference with audio share really is you get a few options to record your microphone, do field recordings or things like that. And you get a few things like being able to trim music, fade some stuff out. So it's more geared towards just music, where this has a lot of stuff geared towards annotation and PDF files, which I'll get into as well. So, and yes, Tom, the ability to transfer files, it is really valuable. Because as I said, not everybody has the money to have all these amazing devices plus a Mac, which, geez, those things cost $1 million. Right, let's now from a previous show that I've done. Let's see. So the first show I did on this series was for an app called Over. Now I'm just going to jump in there for a second. Let's have a look, and I can probably bring up the file that I worked on in that episode. Pretty sure I can. Let's have a look. And you can see here, just by me bringing this up, this is where I make all my banners. This is where I make all of the assets for this show. Right, you can see them all sitting there. Every day I I do a duplicate of yesterday's show and just change over the app and writing. So I use Over a hell of a lot in tandem with documents. And I'll show you how I do that now. So this was the first episode I made this stupid death metal album cover with Donald Trump's head on the top of a pool of blood and limbs. So what I use this for, and I'll show you now, say I wanted to create a transparent graphic to use as an asset over the top of like this album cover here. So if I go to the background of this album cover, click on it, and I take away its opacity, all we're left with is a picture of Donald Trump on a pile of limbs. So if I go even further and click on that pile of limbs, get rid of that writing, and then I go down and take all of that evil, unreadable death metal jargon up the top and take away the transparency of all of those, we're just left with a picture of Donald Trump on a pile of limbs. So I want to now save this as a PNG, as a transparent PNG, so I can then just drag that on the top of any other photo and move it around, and there's no background. So I can, as you can see, so for animation or to build up like I have in this image here. The problem is if you use iCloud on your iOS device and you save this as a PNG to your Photos app, eventually that photo will get updated to the cloud, and a lot of people use the setting to keep a lower res version on their iPad but leave a high res version up on the cloud. So while Apple does that on its servers, it gives you a new version of this app rendering the transparent PNG no longer transparent. So when you open it the next time, it's got a white background. So the whole point of making it no longer works. I hope that made sense. I'll show you Now, why I use documents to get around that. So if I click the tick up here in the top corner, and again the little ellipsis thing there, now I'm going to save it. See, on this first button here, I could just save this to the Photos app, but that's not going to be cool because I want to use this later on. So if I go to the end and hit more, it brings up my share sheet. I want to open it in, and I want to scroll across and find copy to documents. And there it is, saved in documents, and you see this little checkered background. That means it's a transparent PNG. So I can use that anywhere. I can now drag that into any photo I have in any photo app, and it'll be transparent always. So that's a really cool thing that I use this for. And I'll show you an example. I have a folder here because I've been making a movie for the last few years, and I make a lot of because it's an animated movie, I make a lot of the stuff here in a whole bunch of graphics apps, and save a lot of those transparent files. So I've got an over folder here, and you can see with me scrolling through, you notice all these photos have that transparent background there, and these are all parts of my movie. Some are green, got green backgrounds for green screen. So this is where I transport everything. Everything gets stored for my movie in this. I can see logos for my music, for my website. There's a whole lot of stuff in here. It's really good for saving that, for the reason I said. Just keep that in mind when you are saving any files to your Photos app. I mean, it all just works, as Apple says, but if you do have this setting checked, you are sending files there, they are uploading it to the iCloud, and then they're giving you a smaller version. And so if you're using that version that's on your phone into other things, you're not using the highest quality image that you actually thought you saved there. So an app like this will keep all those things nice and safe for you. Okay. What else have we got to quickly go over? Let's look at a PDF quickly. Where are we? Where did I put them? I think I've moved them into a folder yesterday. PDF files. What can we open? That's not going to give away any information. What's this? The Daily Truthful. Let's have a look at this. This looks fun. The Daily Truthful News. So I'm going to take my pencil now. See if I can bring this screen up. Hello. So I got my pencil. Hopefully should be annotating. This is really fantastic for PDF stuff. Let's see. Grab a pen. So you're able to do markups really easy with this and your pencil or your finger, and you can save these PDFs. It's really interesting with this app too, because this company make a whole lot of PDF annotation apps, and they're all about $7. And I don't know if they ever sell any, because they give this away for free. And it does everything all their other ones do. I really don't understand their business model. I'm not complaining, trust me, because I love this app and I hope it remains free for as long as possible. So just quickly, you've got that as well. And it, if you've ever tried to use PDF stuff, if you've had to send back an email with a reply PDF, you will know on iPad it's always been really difficult and to find the right app to be able to draw in if you've got a pencil. This one has it all. It's very simple, works all the time. So that's that little addition in there. Is there anything else I need to go through? I don't think so. Just looking at what other folders I have in here. Look, that's basically what I use this for. And, this show is meant to be in 20 minutes. We're at that kind of thing now. These are the main things I use it for. Music, PNG files, transferring files back and forward between my computer. There are only a few small things, but I tell you what, just having this always there, it just speeds up the workflow. I know it's always going to work, and it's free. You can't really go wrong, can you? So let's wrap that up. Go download it. It's free. Play around with it. Have some fun. And just want to say a couple of things before I scoot. I want to thank everybody who's been leaving comments and supporting me once again through all of this learning as we go, making mistakes each day. It's been really amazing. More so because I've been seeing in the GarageBand users group that many of us hang out in on Facebook. So if you're interested in joining that group, head over to Facebook and look for GarageBand users group. It's a great place to collaborate with other people using GarageBand. So it's been really fantastic watching people who've been watching these streams already putting music up in the group and actually tagging me in it, saying that some of the stuff I've shown in these videos has helped them and contributed to their new material. It's just really nice. You know, I'm so glad that people are getting something from this. So tomorrow's show is going to be a little bit different. So I hope you can join me for it, because I'm going to just give you a preview of something that's coming. I'm not doing an interview this Friday. Instead, I'm going to do a live acoustic performance for you all. So the idea is every third end of the week show, I'm going to do every fourth end of the week show, I'm going to do a live performance just to break things up from the interviews. I've got some really cool people coming up for interviews. Soon, I'm actually going to be having a 9-year-old girl on the show who's just picked up GarageBand in about like a few months. And I came across her this week, and she's made 3 songs in GarageBand, and they're amazing. So we're going to have this wonderful 9-year-old girl on the show to see how she makes music. So that's going to be really cool. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about something that's coming, and it's my Patreon. Now, I've put a whole lot of work into this. It's going to be something really, really cool if you want to get involved in it. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell you all about it. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to run for the next few months, probably the next 4 months, 5 months probably. And at the end of it, there's a whole lot of rewards for being involved in it. I'm just super excited about it. So you can also check me out on Facebook. Just look for Jade Starr DC. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That would be really cool. And that's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat. Let me have a look. Russ, Scott, Tom, Rockhart, Bubba. Thank you all so very much for hanging out. I'll see you the same time tomorrow, and I hope you all have a really, really, really cool day. Adios, amigos.